I'm out here working in the garden. Specifically, I'm working in my pot-in-pot zone. I have been potting up a bunch of plants to the 3-gallon size because right now the customer that I do have is only interested in that size and potentially bigger. So, as you can see, we have a bit of a working zone on my super country city porch here. I put the fresh wood chips in the bottom. I then collected old wood chips from path surfaces and mixed that with a bit of inoculated biochar, and then I top it off with more wood chips. Apparently, Edible Acres does this too. I just found that out after I started doing it this way. I've lifted some of the purple asters that I put in clay, and I just wanted to talk about what I've been calling a pot-in-pot nursery. So, initially, I did start putting in a double pot system. And here's what I found about that. Oh dear. Well, first off, can't leave debris all over the place. What I found is that when I try and pull one pot, maybe one pot will come. Most of the time, 2 pots do. It's a very dry day. Okay. I gotcha. It's a very dry day. But for the most part, the 2 pots glue themselves to each other, and you get both pots out. And so the case in point here is I've stopped using a double pot system, and I'm going to reclaim those pots while they'll come apart, because on wet days, which is 90% of the year here, you cannot get 2 pots apart. And even on dry days, this dirt doesn't slide back in, so it's really not a problem. I tried to put too big of a pot in the second time, so we're going to go get this New England purple aster. And I'm going to put a leg on either side, and we're just going to kerplunk it right on in. Push a little dirt up against it on that side. There we go. Pot in socket. And it's ready to go. I am going to start using wood chips on basically everything. Free resources are great, and it is working wonderfully. As a little bonus peek, as I was prepping to start some sockets here, I discovered I seem to have a puffball mushroom developing in the elderberry trench. I'm gonna see if I can turn this, and these that I severed into, well, maybe not that one, it's already dry and dead, into elderberry plant sets in pots too. This is probably a funnel. So that's what's going on under here. I have used almost all the wood chips. There's just a few left. And now that I've got a taste for having them everywhere, it's like, oh, should I just get a whole nother load? Because I feel like I could use a whole nother load, but I also feel like I really don't want to annoy my neighbors. They were so sweet. They came and I guess raked or swept or something, because I didn't clean it up this good. This is so nice. That's all that's left. It went to there. Oh yeah, this is pretty impressive. I'm also really impressed that, if you smother a plant, it dies. But if you let the green show, it doesn't. Which makes it so much more useful, because I was always taught, and the common knowledge 100% is, do not put fresh wood chips over plants, they'll die. Apparently, some of the more modern knowledge is saying as long as you don't churn it into the soil, it won't do anything negative like that. Another thing that I've heard is that a big pile of fresh wood chips will catch fire sometimes. I kept it dry on purpose, and I did notice that there was white dust that went up like smoke when I busted it apart, and I think that was just it dry decomposing. The other thing I've heard that I'll have to wait and find out and keep an eye out for is that this quantity of wood chips will attract termites. I'm going to say I doubt it because it's breaking down to mushroom fibers so quickly. And also because I did fresh wood chips back in here. I actually got a load about 7 to 10 years ago. I literally have no idea how long ago. Did all the paths, and that's what I'm scraping up for my soil composition. Did all the paths and then found that it broke down so fast that I pretty much would have to do it every year. And I never got termites in anything other than my lilac. It was over there where the plum is now. The lilac got termites. That was really weird. And let me show you something super special over here. It's a monarch crysallis. And we have a whole bunch more monarch caterpillars. One of the current theories about monarchs is that the non-native milkweed doesn't allow them to become toxic enough that birds will avoid them. And so, as you can see from the way that they settle themselves, that one might be actually getting ready to crystallize. From the way that they settle themselves just on top of things, because there's one right there, there's one curled around the top of the plant there. They really do need to be fully toxic because they really don't have the instinct to hide. The little dorks have no instinct to hide. So I'm really happy that my planting of common milkweed from seeds that were confirmed being native have made a difference. And then when I discovered that my friend had accidentally given me another milkweed and it's not native, I yanked it out. We're not doing that. Then we're not playing that. The Asiatic milkweed does not preserve monarchs, it would seem. So that's exciting to see it go to chrysalis, and to see these guys sitting out here on a sunny day being completely left alone. And this guy was just hanging on the top of the leaf for a little bit. It's really cool. I'm just really excited about it. So that is a bit more than what I initially planned to talk about, so I guess we'll wrap it up there. And, you know, you get to see my laundry and my scruffy porch and everything. It wouldn't be a Mix Abruptly video without that. I'm going to go ahead and say go ahead and subscribe if you feel like it. If you like me rambling and walking around my garden and, you know, shaky cam and talking about plants too much. I think things are starting to move. We'll see what happens next. Okay, bye.